times, and let's go talk to Mr. Pigeon, the principal, about the issues, and I was given rehearsed answers. It seemed like they were cookie cutter answers, and denied a letter stating that our children were going to be sent home for not wearing a mask. But the middle and high school were able to get one.
Well, if we could just finish this up, I'm sorry, we're at 3.5, and I really want to have everyone have their say.
Yes, ma'am.
So I apologize, I don't want to interrupt. I know this is a really hard subject for so many family members.
Yes,
So
I'll
I
wrap it up for you.
apologize, but.
No, man, that's fine, I understand. I'll wrap it up for you. Bottom line, like myself and so many others, I do not co-parent with the government or the school district. It is our choice, it should be our choice, and that's the bottom line. Like it's been stated before, my Bible tells me fear not. I can say multiple verses if I have more time here. Corinthians, Romans, Revelation, we can go on and on, folks. But again, thank you for your time, and God bless.
Hi, my name is Sam Faddis, and I'm here at the request of the Plaza family.
All right, so are you a taxpayer in the district?
I am a taxpayer in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Okay, so you'd like to provide the taxpayers
So you're not letting me stay.
not at the moment, then I apologize.
So is there a rule that you're citing, or is that just simply your decision?
Well,
I mean, is there a procedural rule that says that I cannot speak at this moment? Or are you deciding unilaterally to cut me off?
well, we would prefer that the taxpayers.
I understand that you would prefer. I'm asking you, since we're in a public forum, as an attorney, are you telling me that I cannot speak?
At the moment, we're requesting that within the 50 minutes we provided that we have any other interested taxpayer speak. Thank you.
Mr. Faddis, correct? If you could just hold on 1 second. Is there anyone else from the board, from the public, that would like to speak at this time? I would like to allow this gentleman to speak.
Let them talk.
But I will not allow other folks to speak. So I'm okay with that. If he says something that someone else would like to say, we are going to cut shorter on time. So Mr. Faddis, if you would go ahead, please, kindly.
I'm going to take about 60 seconds of your time. My question is this. You have said that you had a plan. You have said it has been superseded by an order of the health secretary. As we all know, the health secretary can't manufacture law. No official in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania or anywhere in this country can. That means there must be some statutory basis the health secretary can point to that says that this is legal. My question is, what is that basis? Have you explored that basis? Before you tell these people that you're going to order them to do this, have you determined the order that you are enforcing is legal? Because I've read all the statutes they cited. None of them say anything about masks. As Mr. Plaza said, the most recent of them is from 1955. They deal with quarantines and isolation of individuals who have been determined to be infectious. They give the government the authority to take somebody who has a disease and separate them from the healthy population. There's not a word in any of them about what this now is, which is exactly the opposite. These are all restrictions of a healthy population. And you're sitting here, I understand your position as an official trying to be serious about your job, enforcing an order, and my question is, on the basis of what legality? This is unprecedented. We have seen the Commonwealth, the people of the Commonwealth, speak very loudly against this governor and strip him of his authority to impose emergency restrictions that the Commonwealth does not support. And now the health secretary has to manufacture authority that never existed and frankly does not exist. So my comments boil down to that question. Have you bothered, as you are enforcing this order, to determine that it's legal? And if the answer is the health secretary can do whatever he or she wishes, then presumably the health secretary tomorrow can tell you, close your school, virtually educate your children for the rest of the time, and if you're not going to question them, then you would simply obey and go home. Thank you.
know, quite frankly, everyone up here on this stage, as a school official, is obligated legally to do that. Currently, the order falls under, I believe it's a communicable disease, the statute that has been in place for years, that does give the authority to the Department of Health. I don't know off the top of my head what the exact law is, but we have gotten several,
If they're going to mandate it, why don't
several sources, both legally and from professional organizations from within Pennsylvania related to education, stating that everyone up here can be held liable legally if we do not uphold that mandate. The school officials themselves, administrators can lose their licenses, etc. The school can be fined per case in the event that it's deemed that we were negligent. So this is.
I respect your answer. I think it's obvious that you really don't have an answer, but my issue is what is happening here is the government is stripping families authority. Piece by piece, they are taking the authority of the family and dismantling it. We are mother and father in this auditorium. We have kids, and we are their authority, nobody else. So I understand if you want to make that the rule for this school, we again have the choice to pull our kids, like we did. Our kids are no longer in this school, even though we pay taxes, because we can't deal with this. But it's sad to see that you don't really have an answer to the question. You're just going along, and that's how freedom disappears.
Mr. Ray, I just would like to say, you know, this has been extremely hard on our families in the district who really do not believe in masking their children. It has been extremely difficult for me, as many of you, to see your kid go to school with a mask that makes no sense. And unfortunately, I have seen our hospital and the guidance that has come down has set this district up to fail. Because we're requiring our children for 8 hours a day to wear a mask, but yet not at a football game, not at the store, and not at a restaurant. So for me, if this made sense, I could go with it. But it has been a deep struggle for my children. I too am pulling my children. Breaks my heart. Because I want board members to realize the decisions we make affect families. And I get it, we're all here to keep our kids safe. But the system is failing us because our kids are wearing masks and we're getting cases, so it set us up to fail. So it is extremely difficult to sit here and see hurting families and go by an illegal mandate. That's my speech as a parent. If we can move forward, I would appreciate that, but Mr. Race, thank you for your comment. I sympathize with you. You have 4 amazing children. You know, some board members said at Monday how horrible it was that these kids dare walk in without a mask. And I can tell you, they were honor students, they are athletes, and they are Christians. I have a religious belief. I've held it from the minute. It is my religious belief. I cannot put a mask on because then I'm doubting God.
Right. Amen.
And it is but that is something that we as a board never discussed. We never discussed the religious exemption or any exemption in any could keep it under 3 minutes, we really are gonna pick one or two. Has anyone not spoken at a board before? Yes, I will. Please state your name, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Olivia Fiorella. I'm in ninth grade at Western Wayne, and I'm an honor student. I do sports year round, and I also to Matt Barrett. I went into school on Tuesday, no math. I was wandering the halls, trying to find my first period class. There's nobody in the hallway. I turned the corner and you're there. I was there and you said nothing about my math. And I know you're gonna say you didn't see me, but there's videotape footage. You saw me, I saw you. You said nothing about my math. It was another teacher who turned me in for not having math. I mean, all the way to fourth period. So if you're gonna set a mandate, you are the one who's gonna have to enforce that. Like, if you're not gonna enforce that, what's the point?
Aaliyah, I love you. You are my daughter. Not by blood, but by heart. So God bless you. Anyone else who would like to speak? Ma'am, and we can make that our last. That would be great. And if you could just state your name.
I brought props.
And your name.
My name is Joy Fisher. I have two kids in the district, 7th and 11th grades. I'm not going public speaking, so just bear with me. I might stutter a little. I want to talk about masks. First, the proper way to wear a mask. I got this from hopkinsmedicine.org. Number 1, wash your hands before and after touching masks. Who does that? Number 2, touch only the bands or ties when putting on and taking off your mask. I guess setting them on the lunch table is okay though, right? Number 3, make sure the mask fits to cover your nose, mouth, and chin. If you adjust the mask to cover those areas, wash your hands before and after. Make sure you can breathe and talk comfortably through your mask. Yeah, that's possible. Wash reusable masks after each use or throw away disposable masks when visibly soiled or damaged. Number 6, do not touch your or your child's mask when it's being worn. Everyone I have seen wear masks touches them very often to be able to talk, breathe, or adjust them. Pretty much every one of you has touched them a few times already. I saw it. Next, I want to show you some common mask types that the school allows, which I bought at Dollar General and rated locally. First, the neck gaiter. That's it. It's not a mask, it's just there for show. When someone wears it, you think, their face is covered. Good enough for me. Number 2 is the Land of Liberty mask. Love the name, isn't it great? There's a certification paper inside that says non-medical face mask. Also on the back, in the blue bar here, it says not intended for medical use and not a replacement for medical grade personal protective equipment. Also for show, but hey, they got it rated, so it helps, right? Oh, this one's my favorite, the No Nonsense brand. Literally the brand that makes pantyhose. This is the one my daughter wears to work or to school. The front says NPJ03 V-Block Antimicrobial, whatever that means. On the very back at the bottom it says, this mask is an additional precaution but does not guarantee protection for users against viruses, bacteria, germs, or other disease organisms and is not intended for medical use. Number 4.